Welcome back. So we've all heard the controversy about critical race theory in schools right here in Texas. House Bill 3979 already restricted how current events and America's history of racism can be taught in Texas schools. Now Senate Bill 3 replaces that law, and let's talk about SB3. So what is it, right? So this legislation requires at least one teacher and one campus administrator at each school in Texas to undergo a civics training program. Teachers are not forced to discuss current controversial topics in the classroom, but if they do, they must not show any political bias, and that's just a bit on the bill. So now, neither the original bill nor the new one, SB3, mention critical race theory or how it is taught in schools. So TAN TV has been following this story for almost 2 years now, and I want to bring in Dr. Lauren Scott, professor at Texas A&M University, San Antonio, and Marisa Perez, the Texas State Board of Education, District 3. Good morning. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
All right, so let's jump to it. So there have been discussions around our nation about critical race theory and whether it should be taught in K-12 schools. So I want to get your thoughts. So both of you, if we want to go ahead and start off with Marisa first.
Sure. So, one of the things that we've been, obviously after the last 2 years almost now, we've been hearing a lot about racial injustice, social unrest, and a lot of that sort of brought to the forefront this theory, critical race theory, that was something that is a higher education framework typically used in law. And so, me personally, I'm a PhD student, didn't get introduced to critical race theory until my doctoral program, and specifically because I'm in a social justice program. And so when, this conversation erupted around critical race theory and K-12 education, I was sort of dumbfounded because as someone who understands and has studied critical race theory, I have a pretty deep knowledge of what that means. And it was very evident almost immediately that the people who were talking about critical race theory in the public spaces, nationally and here statewide, didn't understand it and were just using it and sort of weaponizing this theoretical framework to really, I think, fight against what the real issue is, and that is diversity and representation in our curriculum.
And Dr. Scott, your thoughts?
Well, yeah, absolutely. So we when you look in the yearbook, most of the time, what do you look for? Well, you look for yourself. But what happens is students of color, particularly when it relates to history and other content areas, they don't see themselves. So you see Black students, all they learn about in history is that they were enslaved and disempowered for 435 years. We don't learn about all the major contributions. I mean, we even learn about British writers like Shakespeare, Charles Dickens, the Brontes. But we don't learn about the Harlem Renaissance, Black Wall Street, writing of James Baldwin, James Weldon Johnson, Langston Hughes, Dolores Huerta, Sandra Cisneros, I can go on. And so what we're asking is that we have a curriculum that is reflective of our students and that we're more than just enslaved people, but we're contributors to the progression of the United States.
Right. There's so many levels and so many layers to this, right? So I know that, an argument among Republicans is that critical race theory produces, instruction designed to label white students as racist and promote racial divisiveness. So how do you address that? And we'll start with you, Dr. Scott.
Yeah, sure. So what we want to have critical, cogent conversations about our history without demonizing anyone now, right? So anyone now is not responsible for what happened in the past. Again, but we're all responsible for where we're going to take this great nation in the future. But in order for that to happen, we have to have these critical conversations. So listen, from 1619, slavery happened in the United States, to 1964, the Civil Rights Act, we're looking at 345 years. About 60, from 1964 to 2021, 22, we're looking at about 67, 68 years. So we're only looking at about 68 years of a semblance of freedom. So our students need to understand that we've come a long way. We've come a long way, but we have so much more to go. In order to do that, we have to have real conversations about race in America.
And Marisa, this next question is for you. So what role does the state board play in this discussion?
A really critical role, actually. So the State Board of Education has three major responsibilities, one of which is the adoption of our Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, the TEKS. at every grade level. So beginning from kindergarten up until the 12th grade, we're responsible for reviewing and approving everything that our students should be learning, our expectations at each grade level. And so in particular, this particular conversation really relates and revolves around our social studies, which is a process we are about to embark on. And so we are doing a complete social studies overhaul. And SB3 is actually, unfortunately, negatively impacting what could potentially be a very beneficial curriculum review process, because there's a lot of uncertainty regarding what should and what shouldn't be taught, how it can be addressed in classrooms. And unfortunately, there was a lot of misguided conversation happening around, again, critical race theory that doesn't exist in K-12 education. And there was a conflation in terms of what that meant versus, again, actual representation, true history, those sorts of things. And one of the other misnomers, I think, to address your last question regarding critical race theory is it's not established to demonize anybody. In fact, critical race theory doesn't even focus on individuals. It focuses more on institutions and how institutions have been structured. So again, there's this fundamental misunderstanding of what critical race theory is, and it's been weaponized to scare individuals who don't understand necessarily against what we're really trying to work for, and that's representation and identity and truly dignity for our K-12 students who, for many of our marginalized and minoritized youth have never seen themselves in their curriculum.
We can talk forever about this. Seriously, there's so much to say about it, but thank you so much for your time, Dr. Lauren Scott and Marisa Perez. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And now, first.